The latest on those stall talks with Baha-Mar and how other properties are benefiting with their delay. I'm Clint Watson. The story's ahead in the Bahamas tonight.
National health insurance closer to reality. Find out how it will impact your health care.
The stage is coming down, but organizers of the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival say the road is just being paid for next year's event, and they're promising that it will be bigger and better than before.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The government says it has made significant progress in those stall talks between Baha-Mar and the China Construction Company. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders.
And I'm Charisma Robinson. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie revealing at the opening of the Island House Boutique Hotel today that he has met this morning with principals of Baha-Mar Resort and expects there to be movement. Mr. Christie was adamant that the matter be resolved as government's interest refuses to have further unnecessary delays. Meantime, Baha-Mar's business is reportedly being shared with other properties on the island well into the summer, indicating that it could be months before the mega resort opens. We get that story tonight from Clint Watson.
Bookings that have been terminated with Baha-Mar Resort and made at other hotel properties in the capital, it appears Baha-Mar will remain closed throughout the summer months. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie disclosing at the official opening of the Island House Boutique Hotel near Lifa Quay that a morning meeting with the parties involved in the Baha-Mar investment did see some movement.
I articulated a position that I think and that I hope will result shortly in a shared position on the part of all of us, which will give priority to the interests of the Bahamian people, in addition to, of course, the interest and reputation of the Ismailian family and the China Construction Company.
Mr. Christie explained the need for government intervention in what has become a complex matter between China Construction and Baha-Mar.
The government has been required by the agreement to make substantial contributions to that establishment, and therefore we have no room for error and no room for mistakes with respect to the largest single investment in the history of this region in resort. And so, as we herald the opening and the future success of this property, we know that the health of our economy and the health of tourism is heavily dependent on our being able to move to an early conclusion with respect to what will be a spectacular resort experience. And therefore, I trust that even as I'm speaking now, that I have been listened to and that the results will soon be evident to all.
In the meantime, many other properties here in New Providence are benefiting from Baha-Mar's delayed opening. Take, for example, the Island House, which just opened a month ago. Mark Holowesco, who runs the facility and owner of the venture, says they've certainly benefited from it. However, they do need Baha-Mar to open.
We've been contacted by two of the groups that are associated with Baha-Mar that want to offer our hotel here as an alternative, and we're obviously thrilled with that opportunity. We're also very anxious to get Baha-Mar open as well, because I think it's just great for the country. So we're benefited a little bit from the delay, but we're much better off as a country, and this property is much better off when that whole project is completed as well.
What months are those groups looking to coming into the country?
In July and August. There's a lot of bookings apparently for July and August that people can't satisfy.
Meantime, there's still yet no confirmed date on when Baha-Mar will actually open. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
All right, Clint, thanks a lot. The government has also pushed efforts to overhaul the healthcare system in the country. Carla Palmer tells us tonight about the move towards universal health coverage through national health insurance.
Universal health care here in the Bahamas has been an ongoing discussion for decades. Now, the government is hoping to advance the country's position from talk to action. The government has set a target date to achieve universal access to health coverage by January 2016. Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez is optimistic.
This is the third time we are attempting to do this project. We cannot fail. We must not fail on this occasion. The country expects it, and we must deliver.
The Pan American Health Organization is a strategic partner, and its representative, Dr. Jerry Ackermans, says 4 key pillars are required.
One has to do with financing, to ensure that people do not have to pay out of pocket when they go to a service, that they do not stay away from a health service when they need it because they cannot afford it. The second one has to do with strengthening the health system and the health services. Make sure that services are accessible where people need them, when people need them, and that they have the quality that they need. And that the primary care is an entry point, and primary health care is a ruling that process. And thirdly is about governance. It's that the Ministry of Health will play a role to ensure that all the pieces are in place for a strong health sector, and that it's efficient, that there's not a lot of waste, that it contributes to health. And fourthly, and this is very important, that we look at what we call health in all policies, where governments work together, the different sectors, education, environment, etc., to make sure that where health is created, which is at home, in the schools, in the workplaces, that people live a healthy life.
Deputy Chief Medical Officer at the Ministry of Health, Dr. DeLon Brennan, says ideally the emphasis in achieving universal health care should be on preventative care.
We aren't making sure that prevention is really where our focus is. We aren't getting people the care in their homes. We aren't getting people rehabilitated so that they're back up and functioning, so that they're no longer dependent on society. What they really are is contributing toward national development and the financing to go along with it.
The symposium ends this Wednesday. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
An investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct at the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has been concluded. Last month, some employees accused a pair of managers of sexual misconduct, which resulted in one manager being placed on leave while an investigation took place. While he could not say if any charges will be filed as a result of the investigation, Chairman Dion Smith said both matters have been accepted by the Bahamas Public Services Union, which is the bargaining agent for line staff.
Operation wishes to also correct assertions made in various print dailies, which stated that more than 75% of the female employees of BAIC walked off the job. At no time during this investigation was there any protest, demonstration, or job walk-off. Any employee complaint of misconduct is dealt with in a swift and timely manner.
Moving forward, Smith says BAIC will continue to create a stable and secure environment for staff to work efficiently.
Over the next 6 to 8 months, we plan to play a major role in the enhancement and the development of agriculture, handicraft, and the industrial sectors. While these incidents are rare occurrences, we will continue to enhance the work environment for our employees to allow greater efficiencies to deal with our expanded mandate and projects under our responsibility.
If you are considering or already using alternative forms of energy in your home or business, the regularization process started today with consumer registration. Forms are available on the Bahamas Electricity Corporation's website at www.bahamaselectricity.com or at the Tucker Road headquarters. Family Island residents can obtain a form from BEC offices on the island or from the island administrator. This step follows the passage of the Energy Reform Bill in Parliament a few weeks ago, allowing persons to tie into the grid. Minister of the Environment, the Honorable Kenred Dorsett, says registration is expected for all renewable energy systems across the country, whether or not the owner is interested in grid tie-in. The information gathered is also expected to assist the government in ascertaining the level of the deployment of alternative energy in the country. It will also assist the International Renewable Energy Agency with their rapid assessment of the Bahamas.
The Bahamas prepares for a major summit later this year. I'm Clint Watson. The story comes to you from Martinique.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Lux Men's Warehouse.